if you go by the rate, this regime killed over 40 people on Sabasaba. If you do that math, and we have another maybe 800 days to go, 800 times 40, that's what? 320, isn't it? People. I'm at 32,000. Actually, 32,000 people will die before we get to the election under the guns of this regime. I gave the example of Albert. Albert is in the ground now. You cannot tell Albert to wait for you in 2027. If Ruto kept his word, then it would be easy for some of us to buy that justification for the sustenance of the democratic state.
He is bold, eloquent, and unfiltered. One of Raila Odinga's most vocal foot soldiers. But today, many are asking, is Edwin Sifuna's Ruto must go chant rooted in principle, or is it just political ambition in disguise? To answer this question fully, we must first go back in time to understand the man Sifuna, then we'll circle back and let you decide. Edwin Sifuna was born in 1982 in Western Kenya, not your typical career politician. He schooled in Bungoma, then joined the University of Nairobi to study law. Later, he qualified as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. Even back in campus, those who knew him say Sifuna had fire. He was confident, fiercely opinionated, and obsessed with justice. That fire would soon find a new home in politics. In the early 2010s, Sifuna made his first steps into the political world. He found his political home in ODM, drawn by Raila Odinga's reformist ideals. In 2017, he contested the Nairobi senatorial seat but lost. Still, the party saw something in him. By 2018, he was appointed ODM Secretary General, a senior position typically reserved for seasoned politicians. That appointment, a big sign of trust from Raila. As Secretary General, Sifuna brought new energy into ODM. He was fearless on TV interviews, sharp in parliament, and unapologetically loyal to Baba. He had this unique ability to mix law, street Swahili, and humor all in one soundbite. In 2022, he ran for Nairobi Senator again, and this time he won. From here, he became a key face of the opposition, loud, witty, always ready with a soundbite. But current developments have left people with more questions than answers. While Sifuna continues to chant Ruto must go, his own party, ODM, has taken a very different route. Just recently, ODM and Ruto's Kenya Kwanza government signed a memorandum of understanding, a 10-point agenda. It includes cooperation on electoral reforms, national unity, economic inclusivity, basically a handshake without calling it one. So on one side, you have Raila and Ruto smiling at State House, and on the other, Sifuna in the streets calling the same man a dictator. He insists ODM is not in government. He supports Gen Z protests. He condemned the finance bill, and he calls this regime illegitimate. But the ink on the MOU is still fresh, and the contradiction, it is impossible to ignore. At a recent Ikonini podcast, fellow Senate mate Gloria Oruoba spilled the beans. She claimed that Sifuna was secretly angling for a cabinet secretary position. In her words, the Ruto must go talk was just theater, noise for the public, while deals were being made quietly behind closed doors. She alluded that the good senator and Governor Sakaja's relationship seems to have all of a sudden improved, yet he was one of Sakaja's greatest critics in the early days. Well, it's good to indicate here that she didn't give any hard proof. But in Kenyan politics, silence or the lack of denial often says a lot.
One of the few people who was super excited.
Yeah.
Wacha hapo mnaonanga hapo akisema tuko broad base. Actions zake na watu kuingia serikali. Ni venye amwezi ona. Watu wenye tunasema hawa watu sasa ndio wamefurahi siku hizi wanapata front row State House na hapi. Sifuna. Bana alafu nyinyi ndio alafu mnasemanga mimi ndio nakuanga na vipindi.
Zizi.
Kuna hiyo
tunanibamba ni
mimi ndio mnasemanga na kwanga at least mimi na kwanga na ukisile yangu inanitoka. Yake ni
one of the things lazima
tukiapishwa ngwa hivi. ai sijui ho nimekuwa sasa mini senator, si ndio?
Yeah.
Ni nani alikuwa anapeleka Sakaja mbio hii town?
Hiyo ilikuwa Sifuna.
Nini ilifanyika?
Sikiza, hiyo ilikuwa Sifuna.
Nataka kujua na mtu anisho nini mimi nimesema Sifuna alikuwa anafanya job yake akianza. Right? Yes. The next thing tukaona ile meeting moja ilifanyika pale county, wakakaa na Sakaja, mapicha zikatoka za boardroom, si ndio? After that Nairobi ilikuwa mnasemanga bwengeze Nairobi ikawak
rungu mbwekse lazima iwake
zikuna boy
after that Nairobi iliwak instant.
Kuna boy scare. So unatry kutuambia this is what you're trying to say, that Sifuna behind the scenes yofurahia the fact that ODM wako kwa gava.
Kama kuna mtu ufurahia sana na by the way wacha tu niseme that finally hata wameweza kuona zile choo za status venye ziko. Ni hao watu ya ODM na
hazi Opiondai tunajua nambari.
Hata heri huyo. Unajua mimi upenda watu wako outright. Jumini niko outright. Mimi zile siku nilikuwa ninaamka nasema Ruto is helping this country. I was outright about what I believe and my status at that point. Unanielewa? Mimi kitu sipendi ni watu wa kujifanya. Unajua heri Opiondai na boys mwingine Mbadi, because then they just outrightly said this is what I want, this is where I feel I can make a difference, plus who doesn't want to be a cabinet secretary. Kama kuna mtu yani I think hata alikuwa nasikia ni kama shit ni sijapata hiyo CS position ni Sifuna bana. Hiyo wiki mzima Sifuna ni kama watu walikuwa wamekufa huko Senate. Bana hiyo kitu wako wanapenda venye inaenda juu. Unajua walikuwa wamesema ni leadership of the house. So kuna leadership ya National Assembly na yako leadership ya Senate. Bana alikuwa amengojea Sifuna alikuwa anafaa kwa interior.
So Sifuna ningekuwa ananilisha makara
bana nyinyi hata vitu zingine
sasa hapa nje juu ya Sifuna.
No, but maybe angekuwa interior tungefanyishwa hizi vitu.
As hiyo interior I think nini siku za kwanza.
Let's give him a benefit of doubt.
Wacha nikwambie hivi.
But Sifuna does not seem to slow down soon. As a matter of fact, he has doubled down. His recent tell-all interview at Citizen TV was one of those moments. He was breathing fire. At the Senate floor and other meetings, he is louder than ever, attacking the government that his own party is part of. He's even called this government a cartel regime. Yet we need to pause here and ask, if Raila is warming up to Ruto, if ODM is signing cooperation deals, why is Sifuna still shouting, Ruto must go? Is it principle or is it positioning? Could it be personal branding, preparing for 2027 when he may just want a bigger seat at the table? Here is what we know for sure. Edwin Sifuna is one of Kenya's sharpest political minds today. He's articulate, educated, and fearless. But in a season where the lines between opposition and government are increasingly blurred, his defiance raises real questions. Is he the last man standing? Is Edwin Sifuna's Ruto must go genuine, or is it just a well-scripted political theater? Let me not answer that. You tell me what you think in the comments. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Until next time, stay curious, stay questioning.